Hello. Why I don't support Women's International Day and the whole movement overall nowadays. There are a number of reasons, but I think it's important to express first the problem in the semantics with the word equality and the English language. I'm German, and in German we have two words to express and discuss this whole topic. These words are Gleichheit, which means equality, and the other word is Gleichberechtigung. Gleichberechtigung, I cannot translate this into another word, but I can express what it is. Gleichberechtigung means that two or more parties receive and are entitled to the same laws, to the same protection, to the same worth, to the same importance, to the same everything. Gleichberechtigung and Gleichheit may seem at first equal or basically synonyms, but are not. They're quite different because Gleichberechtigung allows the possibility for the parties to be very different in nature, but equal in worth. And I think that's the problem whenever this whole topic is discussed. Why am I saying this? Well, the vast majority of interviews, articles, forums, videos about the equality between the sexes are in English, and they are using equality for a number of ideas, and basically they are misleading the whole world. The problem is not only in English, in Spanish as well, with igualdad, but that's another topic. But important is to know that in German there are two different words, Gleichheit and Gleichberechtigung. We already achieved Gleichberechtigung in the West. The last 30 years, well, I could argue, okay, the last 30, 20, 25, 20 years, Gleichberechtigung is been around for quite some time. So when we achieved it, why are still there groups that are fighting as if everything wouldn't be that way? And that is my problem with the whole movement and the whole importance and coverage of the Women's International Day. There has to be a reason why this happens, and I'm not quite sure what's the intention behind it, but I don't like it. I don't like it because I think it's promoted with a hidden agenda. There are a couple of reasons. I can say there is a hidden agenda, but this is just a supposition. This is just an assumption, and assumptions aren't good in a discussion. My reasons that I'm going to enumerate now are based on observations that are real. So the first reason is that the whole movement and the day and the whole movement overall encourages the competition between the sexes. And to say it clear, you cannot build a society based on women and men to compete against each other, because men and women have to build families in order to pass on values and principles that will sustain that society. And if everyone is competing against everyone, you only have a bunch of people, very individualistic, that happen to live in the same place and that happen to live in the same time, and they're not really a society. And the whole thing that cohesions everything is the marketplace and money and free market. And societies have to have more than just the economic interaction between the individuals. That's the first reason. The second reason is that in developing countries, the promoting of the whole idea is just there to increase labor force. You have suddenly more people doing a certain task, and therefore the worth of the work decreases because you suddenly have 2 times the workforce. This happens a lot in developing countries where certain NGOs somehow manage to pass laws and political maneuvers to basically make the people down there believe that they're free, but actually they're just acting against the natural flow of things. Men and women, the best way is that men and women complement each other and do not compete. We should basically forget about feminism and forget about chauvinism. We should concentrate on feminism. No one is talking about feminism. No one. Feminism, where men and women and the kids, or even in homosexual families, where the family is the core, was the important aspect in the society. Because only in a family you can pass on principles and values and ideas that will sustain that society. The third reason is that the whole idea, this whole movement encourages a generation, it produces a generation of kids that are raised either by government institutions or by grandmas. And it's sad for kids to not grow with their parents because they're working, either because those parents want to develop themselves and to be more, I don't know, to develop their need to be as member of a respectful member of society, or because they are poor and they need to work. Both. Some people argue that in the 50s, when the man went to work, he earned enough for a family, and the woman didn't need to work. The woman didn't need to work. But now both work and they are not able to pay the rent or the house that are paying. The fourth reason is this whole movement encourages victim culture. Victim culture, that women are oppressed or women are somehow that they need to fight for their rights, and it encourages also a guilt and falsely privileged feeling, and men feel like guilty because they are men, and this is not, as I said, this is not a good way to build a society. And the fifth but not least reason is that those movement still exists, that they still exist. It's basically disregarding the whole political and social advances in equality that have been already made. We have achieved it. We have achieved Gleichberechtigung. Gleichheit is equality is not possible because we aren't the same. Men and women aren't the same. Men and women may want, in a broader sense, the same things, but men and women aren't wanting the deep primal things, because men and women don't react equal in the same situation. We aren't equal. We are complementary. And we have actually achieved in the West Gleichberechtigung. I would hope I would hope that the word Gleichberechtigung gets its way into the English language, because Gleichberechtigung is a word that it says everything. It says two or more parties that may or may not be very different have the same opportunities, the same worth, and the same value in a society that is cohesionated. well, I don't want to make this video very longer. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand my points. Feel free to discuss it, make constructive and destructive critique. I welcome both, and see you next time. Peace.